Mr. Speaker, I understand that analogy about scoring a touchdown and hitting a three-point shot. But if you don't even show up for the game, you can't even kick a field goal or make a layup. And for the last 6 months, I think what we're doing here today in this last week begs a couple questions by our constituents. And those questions are, all these priority issues in this bill, there must be 5 or 6 of them, the rent control, the property tax, the new rebate, what we do on charter schools, those were all priority issues in January. Now, what the taxpayers will probably should be asking us, and the questions that are being begged, is that what'd you do for those 6 months? If you proved that you could come back for an extra week of 7 to 8 days and do those 5 or 6 important priority issues, why do you need a session of 6 months? You're only working on a crisis basis. Let's make it a 3-month session. We'll end it April 1st when the budget's done. All the priority issues should be done in those 3 months. And if we can't do them in those 3 months, we don't spend tens of thousands of taxpayers' dollars to come back for another week to do the issues we were supposed to do in January, February, March, April, May, and June. I mean, isn't that a legitimate question for the taxpayers to ask of us? What were you doing the first 6 months? And if you can accomplish all these things in 1 week, why not just make the crisis take place April 1st? Then go a week beyond that, do all the important issues, and go home. So I'm not happy with the entire bill. There are good parts about it. What I'm disappointed in is the process, is the lack of transparency, messages of necessity that are supposed to be for an emergency. And here's the last thing I'm very disappointed, and I think the taxpayers are. When I'm asked to come here at 10 o'clock in the morning for a session, I show up at 10 o'clock. In fact, I show up before 10 o'clock. I shouldn't have to wait till 10:15 and have somebody come in and say it's canceled. Then call it at 12 and come in at 12:15 and say it's canceled. Then call it at 5 and come in at 5:15 and say it's canceled. Because I could be serving my constituents, and so can you in other ways.